At all the February 2020 theatrical releases. First of all, you had Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn, one of the DCEU films that has way too long of a title. Was the eighth installment in the DCEU, as well as a spin-off and sequel to Suicide Squad 2016. That movie came out February 7th, and it was directed by looking here at the Wikipedia page. Oh, directed by Kathy Yan. Right, and then you had The Lodge, psychological horror film directed by Veronica Franz and Severin Fiala. Then it got a limited release February 7th, 2020. And then you had okay, a few streaming originals right here. Then you have Sonic the Hedgehog, action-adventure comedy film based on the video game series of the same name, published by Sega, directed by Jeff Fowler. And that film came out February 14th, 2020. And I actually ended up seeing Sonic the Hedgehog in theaters, similar to how I ended up seeing Sonic the Hedgehog 2 in theaters. And then you had Fantasy Island, supernatural horror film directed and co-written by Jeff Wadlow. That's both a horror reimagining and prequel to ABC's 1977 television series of the same name. This one came out February 14th. And then The Photograph, romantic drama film written and directed by Stella Meggy, that came out February 14th. And then Downhill, black comedy drama film directed by Nat Faxon and Jim Rash. This is actually a remake of a movie called Force Majeure that came out back in 2014, made by a Swedish director. Downhill came out February 14th. And then Spy Intervention, that came out as an action spy comedy film directed by Drew Mileria, that came out February 14th in selected theaters, digital, and on demand simultaneously. And then you had The Kindness of Strangers, drama film written and directed by Lone Surfik, Scherfig, came out February 14th. And then The Call of the Wild, an adventure film based on the novel of the same name, made in 1903 from Jack London, directed by Chris Sanders, and its live-action directorial debut, came out February 21st. Then you had Emma, period romantic comedy film directed by Autumn Day Wilde, based on a novel of the same name from 1815, written by Jane Austen. That movie came out February 21st from Universal Pictures. And then Bram's The Boy 2, supernatural horror film that the sequel to the 2016 film The Boy, directed by William Brent. That movie came out February 21st. And then The Night Clerk, crime drama film written and directed by Michael Christopher, that came out February 21st. And then Impractical Jokers, the movie, reality comedy film directed by Chris Henchy, based on the television show called Impractical Jokers. And that movie came out February 21st. And then you had, scroll down here a bit, The Invisible Man, sci-fi horror film written and directed by Leigh Whannell, based on the H.G. Wells novel of the same name, a reboot of the 1933 film the same name, and the eighth installment in the Invisible Man franchise. This movie came out February 28th. And then you had Wendy, fantasy drama film directed by Ben Zetilin, that is a reimagining of J.M. Barrie's Peter Pan. This movie came out February 28th. And then finally, Guns Akimbo, That was a action comedy film written and directed by Jason Leigh Howden that came out. Let's see. Okay. So says here on the Wikipedia page that it actually came out April 2nd, 2020 in the US, March 5th, 2020 in New Zealand. That's weird. When I look at the Wikipedia page that lists off all the movies that came out in 2020, it says here that Guns Akimbo came out in February, but when I look at the actual Wikipedia page for Guns Akimbo specifically, it says it came out in March in the US, not in February. That's a bit odd. But I look at this month, Sonic the Hedgehog, only one I saw in theaters. I ended up watching Birds of Prey after the fact on streaming. I am not really familiar with any of these other movies.